Welcome back to another episode of Empower with Nancy. I want to start today's episode with something that really has honestly hit me hard recently. And I thought, what am I going to talk about on my episode? And a lot of people are really exhausted trying to receive something from life that they have not become internally themselves, right? And I know sometimes this goes real deep, but I want you to think about it. What do people want? People want peace in their life. They want to feel the confidence. They want the clarity. Maybe they want better relationships, respect, success, fulfillment. Like all of these categories are so powerful and so important to our lives. But internally, we're operating from self doubt. We're operating from constant fear, anxiety, emotional exhaustion from the way we feel, the insecurity, a shitload of chaos in our life that we just can't get rid of. How about survival mode? And then that constant pressure. And then what happens? Eventually, that disconnect catches up to us. So today's episode, I'm going to talk about become the energy that you want to receive. Because your life will always reflect your internal identity more than your external goals. Think about that. That's the part that people just don't realize. That you have to say you want confidence all day long. Like we feel like, oh my gosh, this is so much work. Why is life so difficult? Why is it so hard? It's not. You choose it to be hard and difficult and allowing the chaos, the disconnection, the confidence, the fear. You can say what confidence means all day long. But internally, you keep questioning yourself. You keep shrinking yourself. You keep criticizing yourself. You keep talking yourself down and waiting for validation. But your energy is still operating from insecurity. And honestly, guys, I think so many people are waiting for a life to hand them complete confidence when confidence is actually built internally first. So, what does that mean? That's what I really want to talk about today is how to become the energy that you truly want. And I think one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck is because they spend years waiting. What do you think that they're waiting for? Right? You're waiting to feel ready. You're waiting to feel worthy, feel chosen, feel confident, feel freaking amazing. And I get it because I think that we've all been there at some point in our life. And this is where you have to be honest with yourself. But what I've realized over the years is this, that your life changes when you stop waiting and start becoming, start believing, start loving yourself. That's the shift because confidence doesn't just magically appear and arrive just one morning when we wake up, right? Peace doesn't just suddenly appear because life got easier. Self-worth doesn't happen because somebody finally validated you. I want you to really think about this. Those things are built internally. We create them, believe it or not. We create our life and our reality. And honestly, I see this all the time with high achieving people. I see it all the time with just my clients in general. You don't have to be high achieving, it's just life. I've coached hundreds of people that are completely broken, lost, and they don't even know what to do. People who look successful externally, but internally still feel disconnected from themselves. And even if you don't look successful externally, you pretend that you are, and maybe you don't paint the picture, look, or fit the part, but internally you're broken. So, what are you going to do externally and internally within your life? People performing at higher levels, but mentally completely exhausted. They're smiling, but they feel completely overwhelmed. Trust me, I've been there, done that. Maybe people are leading teams, taking care of everyone else, handling responsibilities, but privately questioning themselves constantly. Why is that? And then eventually, that internal pressure becomes so exhausting and so heavy. And this is when I have to ask you, when is enough enough? When are you going to start getting mad at yourself and saying, damn it, I need to change? I'm not going to wait for validation. I'm not going to wait for anybody to tell me. I'm going to listen to my true self. Start saying enough's enough. Get your butt off the couch. Get your butt out of bed, feeling exhausted, feeling emotionally drained. Do you want to live the rest of your life like that? No, because life is beautiful. God has given us this beautiful, precious life to do something with it. But it starts with you. Give love, give just abundance, help people from the bottom of your heart, because there's so many people that need good friends, good relationships, people to hang out with, people that can look up to you, to just collaborate together. So, how does your energy show up before you do? One thing leadership has taught me over the years is people feel your energy before they ever hear your words, before you step into the office. Why? Because they feel the confidence, the certainty in you. They may feel the fear, the peace, the insecurity, emotional exhaustion. How about being truly you, your authentic self? People feel when someone else is constantly operating from pressure. What is that? That is energy. Good, bad, or ugly. People feel positive energy, negative energy. Have you ever gone into a grocery store or going shopping or, just out and about, and you walk by somebody and you feel the energy. They either look happy, confident, or they look sad and down and out, like something's wrong with them. And you just want to reach out and give them a hug. We all have the energy. We all have this beautiful gift of energy. And there's no reason why you can't help yourself to help others. And honestly, a lot of people are living in survival mode without even realizing it. They're become so used to the stress and the anxiety that it feels completely normal. The loss of sleep, the tossing and turning at night, fearing and worrying. Can I pay my bills? Should I be in this relationship? What do I want in my life? What kind of career do I want? Do I love my job? Do I want to be an own entrepreneur? Like, what is it that you want? Because if you're going to continue to focus on fear and worry, that's what's going to happen. And I always say thoughts become things. So people overthink that the peace feels unfamiliar. They're so used to carrying everything that rest almost feels like your own rest. It almost feels so uncomfortable, like you feel like you shouldn't deserve that rest. Why? I want you to think about that for a second. A lot of high achievers don't even know how to slow down because their identity became attached to the constant performing. And then eventually you stop asking yourself, how the hell do I actually feel today? Because you're too busy surviving expectations, because that's why mindset matters so much. Not because of positive thinking, but because your mindset shapes your identity. There is no ands, if, or buts around that, guys. And your identity, what does that do? It shapes your life. What have you done for yourself to help yourself? Have you ever worked with a coach? Have you ever have been part of a program? Have you ever gone to a webinar or seminar? Something that you invest in yourself. Don't put a price tag on your success. Don't put a price tag on the things that you need and reach out for help. I have invested so much money, and honestly, at times I didn't even have a dime, but I invested in myself and I figured out a way. You have to say enough's enough. You have to get sick and tired of feeling the way you're feeling. So damn sick and tired. You cannot hate yourself into confidence. This is super important. You cannot constantly tear yourself down internally and expect to feel powerful externally. You cannot constantly criticize yourself, doubt yourself, compare yourself, abandon yourself inside and out. And then you wonder why you feel disconnected from confidence and identity. Confidence is not perfection. Confidence is your own self-trust. It's knowing that even when life gets hard, that you'll still show up for yourself. That is real confidence. That is so powerful. And to be quite honest with you, I think social media has made the worst for a lot of people. Everyone looks confident online. Everyone looks successful. Everyone looks happy. Meanwhile, people are privately burnt out, emotionally drained, anxious, overwhelmed, questioning themselves constantly. The social media, you're comparing yourself to another powerful woman or powerful man, and they are living this luxury life. There's a lot that is true and real, but don't sit there and compare yourself. If you want to live that successful life, why aren't you? Do it. Don't fear worrying, like, how the hell am I going to do it? Just start somewhere. And the dangerous part is people start believing what's on social media. And maybe I'm the only one thinking that, like, for you, like maybe you're the only one struggling. No, you're not. There's a lot of people struggling. There's a lot of people that are not struggling. There's a lot of people that are living the abundant life because they choose to live that abundant life. There's a lot of people that don't live in the home that they want to live in. They don't have the job that they want. They're not driving the car that they want. Why? It starts with you guys. Nobody else. Stop pointing the fingers, blaming mom and dad, bosses. Just goes on and on. That's when we have to start waking up and saying enough's enough. a lot of people are silently carrying pressure they never talk about. Stop looking outside yourself for what must be built within. And this might be one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. You cannot keep looking externally for something that has to be built internally first. You cannot wait for success to create worthiness. You just can't. You cannot create validation to create confidence. You cannot create relationships to create peace and love in your relationship. Achievements to create self-love. You cannot create achievements to feel self-love. Going to college for 4, 5, 7, 10 years, getting one certificate after another, getting yourself in student debt. And then at the end of the day, what are you doing with all of that? Do you absolutely need it all? I went to college, went to 2-year trade school to be a legal secretary. And what did I do? I wasn't a legal secretary, but I got myself in $25,000 debt. What did I do? I went into mortgage banking. And boy, it was amazing. I had a lot of ups and downs. I built tough skin. I just learned so much. Back then is so different than it is today, because back then you just sat down at the desk and you just had to teach yourself. There was no Google, how to, close a loan in 15 days, or how to be the best processor, best underwriter. Like, you had to figure it out on your own. There was a little bit of training. Trust me, I learned the hard way, but boy, did it make me successful, abundant, and I love it. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. Because external things may temporarily amplify confidence, but they cannot create deep internal security. That work is internal. Sometimes the reason people still feel empty after achieving a goal is because they thought achievement would heal the relationship with themselves. That's where we get stuck. But achievement and self-worth are not the same thing. That's powerful when you really think about it, right? You can achieve a lot and still feel disconnected internally. And that's why becoming matters more than proving. Take baby steps. Become the energy that you want to receive. If you want peace, start creating peace within yourself. If you want confidence, start speaking to yourself differently, guys. If you want respect, stop abandoning your own boundaries. Do you not understand how boundaries are so damn important? Do you have any boundaries? If you don't, I suggest you start. If you want healthier relationships, become emotionally healthy within yourself. You can't have a healthy relationship if you're so emotionally all over the place. It tends to damage relationships. No ands or buts around that. If you want abundance, stop operating from constant fear and scarcity. Stop. Because eventually your external life starts responding to your internal standards. And no, this does not mean life suddenly becomes perfect. By all means, has nothing to do with that life being perfect. It means only you, become stronger internally. You become more grounded. You become more self-aware. and you become more internal. You stop reacting emotionally to everything around you, and then you stop needing constant validation. You stop waiting to feel chosen. That changes absolutely everything in your life. Stop waiting to be chosen. Stop waiting for the validation. You have all the tools in your toolbox to live the life abundantly, mentally, physically, and emotionally abundant. I really want people to hear this part. Stop waiting for someone else to confirm your value before you start seeing it yourself. I want you to stop waiting for permission. You don't need to wait for permission. Stop waiting for everyone else to believe in you first. Why don't you start believing in you first? Because one of the biggest transformations in life happens when you stop asking, will they choose me? And start asking, I want you to start asking, am I choosing myself? You damn right you are. Because I choose myself. I have always put everyone else in front of me. I still do from time to time. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie about that. But I wake up loving myself. I wake up so grateful and so abundant no matter what is going on in my life. I am blessed with this beautiful life that God has given me. And when you start choosing yourself, the question changes everything for you. Your standards change, your confidence change, your boundaries change, your decisions definitely change. Your energy becomes so powerful, it changes. And then you're like, whoa, where did that come from? And honestly, I think a lot of people are exhausted because they spent years abandoning themselves, trying to gain acceptance from everyone else. That is a painful way to live. I want you to think about that. I want to close with this. So if there's one thing I want you to take from today's episode, is just this. Your next level is not just about achieving more. It's about becoming more internally aligned with the life that you say you want external. I want you to become more confident. I want you to have the peace, the discipline. I want you to have self-respect. I want you to emotionally be stable. I want you to have that certainty and that identity. Write down what it is you want. Believe it. Write it down and write it down over and over and over till you start believing it internally. That you keep waiting for a life to give you, because eventually your life becomes responding to who you believe you are. And maybe your transformation doesn't start when life changes. Maybe it starts the moment that you do. Thank you for being here with me on my episode, Empower with Nancy. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs this reminder today. I am so, so very grateful for all of my listeners, all of my new listeners. My podcast is just growing. And I'm just so blessed and so grateful. Again, remember that you have full control of the will. You have to believe that you can have anything you want. Until my next episode, I'm sending you lots of beautiful, positive energy, powerful energy, that you learn something from this podcast today and that you listen and do something about the life that you want to live.